Kafei is a character from the Legend of Zelda Majoras Mask. He is the runaway son of Mayor del Tor and Madame Aroma. Kafei is a focal point of the biggest side quest in the game, reuniting Kafei and Anju. What's so strange about his character is his unusual appearance, his child form and his red eyes, leading to convince us that Kafei may have Sheikah roots. Not only that, he may in fact be the Terminian counterpart to Link. To answer these two far-fetched questions, we're going to have to take a look at the lore of Kafei's life. If you wish to skip the lore and go straight into the theory, click the rectangle. Without further ado, let's begin. During his youth, Kafei was a member of the Bomber's Secret Society of Justice. The owner of the Curiosity Shop states that he was a childhood friend of Kafei's and gave him the Keaton mask as a gift. Later, Kafei eventually fell in love with Anju when they were children, and they became engaged. They promised each other to marry on the day of the Carnival of Time, exchanging the Sun and Moon's mask during the event. However, several years later, and only a month before the carnival, Kafei was suddenly turned into a child by the possessed Skull Kid. On his way to see the Great Fairy in North Clocktown about his desperate situation, Sheikah, the thief, came along and stole his wedding ceremony mask.
As such, Kafei could not return to Anju despite knowing that she was worried, for he had promised to greet her with his wedding mask in hand. He goes into hiding at the Curiosity Shop and disguises himself with a Keaton mask, which was given to him by the owner when he was a child. Secretly watching the customers who sell stolen goods, he is positive the thief will appear and he will be able to follow him to retrieve his mask. Despite Kafei's terrible fate, Anju does not know what has become of him or why he has disappeared. She is afraid to meet with her fiancé and hear the reason as to why he has escaped, for she fears that his disappearance might have been caused by her. Eventually, Link joins in and helps Anju in finding her fiancé. Link gains Kafei's trust and reveals all that has happened to him. His only goal now is to find the thief who has stolen the promised mask to return to Anju. Days later, Sheikah, the thief, enters the Curiosity Shop and Kafei follows him to his hideout. On the night of the final day, Kafei and Link enter Sheikah's hideout in Ikana Canyon, and after going through many trials and puzzles, Kafei retrieves back his most prized possession, the Sun's mask, and will run back to Clocktown to see his fiancée. When Kafei arrives, they exchange the promised masks and express their gratitude towards Link for everything he has done for them. The fusion of the masks creates the couple's mask, a mask of happiness, and is given to Link. The reunited couple then await their fate and embrace each other's presence as they stand by for the destruction of Termina.
Now that we've discussed the lore of Kafei, we can finally speculate as to where this young man may be from. As I mentioned earlier, Kafei has red eyes, pointed ears, and purple clothing, which are odd distinctions towards the Sheikah tribe. Now yes, Termina is a parallel world and we can assume that the Sheikah has no correlation with it. However, we need to consider that there are Sheikah artifacts in the world of Termina. The Lens of Truth, the Mask of Truth, and Gossip Stones. Just like Terminians are the counterpart for Hylians, and the Pirate and Great Bay are the counterpart to the Gerudo, it would make sense to have one for the Sheikah. Out of all the races and tribes in Termina, the Garo tribe would seem the most familiar. They are both ninja-like warriors and have codes of honor. Just like how the Sheikah had conflict with the Hylians, the Garo had years of war with the Ikana army. As good as this would be to be true, it is not. The Garo can't be Sheikah because they do not possess red eyes, and they are a foreign power nation, which is stated in the game. The only possibility we are left with is that the Sheikah themselves do in fact exist in Termina. Now I know what you're thinking, but let me explain. I am under the impression that the Sheikah are a multi-dimensional race. Keep in mind they are among the oldest races in existence. They were the attendants of the goddess Hylia, and have been known to venture in different planes of existence to guide events. They have a presence in Hyrule, Lorule, and possibly Termina. Just look at the Sheikah artifacts that this terrain has. Anyway, the Sheikah existing in Termina will be for another theory. But back to the subject at hand. Kafei could very well be related to the Sheikah. His pointed ears, purple clothing, and red eyes bear resemblance. It is unknown whether the red eyes are a result of the curse placed upon Skull Kid, but it could very well be from his mom. His father's eyes are black and his mother's eyes are squinted, so it is impossible to tell. However, when talking to citizens in Clock Town wearing Kafei's mask, they recognize the mask, which means Kafei's face had no direct change from the curse Skull Kid placed on him. This could possibly mean that Kafei's red eyes are not a result of the curse. Somehow, there may very well be Sheikah bloodline in this family.
Now for the next theory. Termina has many characters that act as a counterpart to Hyrule. Malon to young Romani, Talon to the milk bar owner, Gyarados to the pirates. While not all characters in Hyrule have a counterpart, one argument has always been whether Link has any, and indeed he does. There's a variety of candidates for Link's Terminian counterpart, but Kafei and Link have the most similar characteristics and same trials in their life. Both undergo a transformation of appearance. They both also include the similar skill sets and flair for puzzle solving they share, as well as their mannerisms, build, and similar expressions their artworks display. Tattle even points out that he is careless just like Link. Kafei is the only NPC that can be hurt, and his character model is the same as Link's. However, the theory is refuted by the fact that these personality characteristics do not always carry over between Hyrulean and Terminian equivalents, and by the fact that the only consistent link between two such beings is their identical appearance, whereas Link and Kafei have vastly different appearances, so Link's counterpart varies between a lot of characters that undergo similar trials and characteristics.
If Link has completed the entire Anju and Kafei quest, the two will be seen getting married in a post-credits scene. Although it is never confirmed if the curse on him has been broken, the viewpoint of Kafei in the cutscene seems much higher than a child's, implying that the curse was indeed broken. In conclusion, it is very well possible that Kafei has Sheikah roots, or that his red eyes were a result of the curse placed upon by Skull Kid. Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you guys enjoyed this theory, and it was really fun to make, and I'm going to expand on it by making a if Sheikah exists in Termina or not. Special thanks to Cecilia for collabing with me on this theory. Her channel will be right here on the screen, or just click at the annotation or in the description if you're on mobile. My Matrix series will be coming up soon, hopefully this month, guys. It's really hard because I'm deciding to make it maybe a lore series instead of a theory series, but we'll see, guys. Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for watching, and bye.